This government has failed us all. 40,000 families, all of us are failed. Those ones who are crying manna from heaven, I swear to God, and I told you this, I mean, they don't understand what they just gave up. They're cheering for something they don't understand, because if they did, I don't think they would be saying this.
I don't think that there is anything that Amy can do about this. Like, I think that she is stuck as much as everyone else is, but that's the thing. She can't do anything about it. So we have to go elsewhere when it comes to politicians that we need help from.
I do. I have a pile of letters here for you today. These are from families, and these are from therapists. Some of them have also emailed you, or emailed you instead of giving them to me. I've had to stop myself from reading them because every time I do, I cry, and I have a strict I don't cry at work policy, and I'm trying really hard to maintain that. Every day this week, the last week, I've had to tell families that their funding is gone. They don't, no one is telling them except for me. How is it my job to tell them that their government is no longer taking care of their kids? It's not okay.
That's not okay at all.
These families, I have families getting transitioned out in 6 weeks. 6 weeks. We've had snow days. Every time we have another snow day, I think I'm going to lose my mind because those kids aren't coming in. We've had people ask me if we're bringing kids today, and I say no because they have 6 weeks left, and every single day matters right now. We are going through every single kid's program and trying to figure out what is the most important thing. If I have 6 weeks or 8 weeks or 12 weeks, whatever it is, what is the most important thing? We are pulling the nice-to-haves and just focusing on the must-to-haves, but there's only so much we can do.
And there's only so many skills they're going to retain from those programs when they stop abruptly.
We're trying to make decisions about, do we get every therapy hour in we can for the next X number of weeks or months, or do we start fading out to try to get these kids more prepared for school so it's less traumatic for them when they do that? And I don't have the answers. In past programs, people would have a 6-month period where we knew that that transition was coming. In the past program, we knew that every 6 months there was an assessment, and we knew someone at Erin Oak was going to tell us, you're continuing or you're not. And that was terrifying for families, but at least I got 6 months, and they knew we'd get probably a couple of years. Now, all these families thought that they had so many years. I don't want the kids with me forever. I want them in school. That's my goal. And that's all these parents' goals. It is so inconvenient to take your kid to therapy, to have people in your home, to be managing school and therapy at the same time. But at least then we knew that it was happening. These families, I feel like the rug has been pulled out from under their feet because they had no idea this was coming. We knew that every time the government changes, there could be reforms. We didn't know that everything could just be gone in an instant. I'm having families asking me why, and I'm trying to tell them why, and I don't have good answers for them. I have families crying, I have therapists crying, I have therapists scared that they're all losing their jobs. Because yes, the same amount of money is in the system, but the way that money is going to be spread out, like 2 hours a week for families, their money might not be well spent in an IBI type program. They probably just need me, or they just need speech. And so we've got all of these therapists who are just terrified that we're not going to have hours for them. We have families who haven't been able to apply for their childhood budgets yet, so they don't know how much money is coming. And so we've got families fading out on April 1st. They can't apply for their childhood budget until April 1st. They have no information about what that scale is like, so they don't know how much money is coming. They don't know if they're going back to the bottom of the list or if they're going to be given money.
They're not going back to the bottom of the list.
Good. That's good. But they don't know how much they're getting, so how do they go and budget even to get them till the end of the school year, let alone until next school year? And they haven't had to budget for this for the last couple of years. And so those families finally had some relief. And now all of a sudden that relief is gone, and they're realizing they have to budget for that again. For some families it's going to mean nothing. For some families maybe they squeak in a few hours. But none of it's okay, and there's just no transition to get it to be okay. And so we're spending every waking moment, I'm spending every sleeping moment, to be honest, thinking about how I'm transitioning these kids in a way that's going to be good for them and good for their families. And then in the back of my head, trying to figure out, okay, well, I've got that transition. I'm kind of figuring out what I'm going to do there for that transition. Not that the school has been able to, I've had one school who's started the process with us, but that is it. But then at the same time, okay, those kids are transitioning out. What do I do for all the therapists who all of a sudden have all these holes in their schedules? They need to support their families. I can't pay them if there's nobody coming in, because I will be bankrupt. We will be closing our doors. Like, there's so much to balance all at exactly the same time, and I don't know what to do.
So guys, I just want to thank everyone for sharing. We do actually want to go out and greet everybody who's come today. My card's on the table. You can reach out to me or Amy at any time. Anything that comes to me, obviously.
Amy, I'm just going to leave this here with you because you stood with us at a protest, and I think you actually held this exact sign at one time. And we want you back, Amy.
Quit the
Like,
caucus.
the only way, like, we need your support. We know you understand our stories, and we know you're in a bad position. But at what point do you stop saying, enough bullying me? This is not what's good for families. Your responsibility to the people in this room, to the children that are represented in this room. And we need your support.
I don't want your daughter to be sad.
I don't want your daughter to think we're angry with you. I mean, we are angry with you and we're not angry with you. We go through all these emotions with you. You're in a bad position. I'm sorry, but
Show us
so
what you're
are
gonna
we.
do. Quit the Conservative Party. Citizen independent. Join the NDP. Resign.
That won't be happening.
Get the respect of this community back, because you deserve it. And you've been pushed around enough by a callous and disgusting minister who just went across the province decrying our entire movement as fake protesters and paid protesters.
It sounds
Threatening
interesting.
Ontava. Threatening Ontava. This is ridiculous. I'm not gonna, go ahead.
I said this last week to my whole party, and I mean it. I was so excited when I found out she was the one getting this portfolio. Since the day she was elected, she has been speaking up for children with autism in the legislature.
Then how does she sleep at
Against their
night?
parents every single day.
So when she ran in 2006, the woman running against her was an NDP candidate against her, has a child with autism, and she fully supports this program.
I'd love to hear her reasoning sometime.
Thanks, guys. Please don't hesitate to reach out.
Thank you.
Thank you.